Okay.
Come, let me show you. Let me show you my little goodies. This here is a Roland Juno 2. They call it an Alpha Juno 2. This was my first keyboard. 1990, I don't even remember. But I paid 200 bucks for this thing and I made a lot of tracks with this. It's not hooked up right now, but I still love it. This is a micro Korg I picked up. It's got a really cool vote. Hey, actually this one's hooked up. It's got a really cool everything. Vocoder. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. It's got cool bass sounds, tech housey kind of. Can't go wrong with that preset.
Techno party.
Shut up. Sound like anyway, I can't think of it. Classic CZ101. I don't know where the power cable for this is, but I know I have it somewhere. This takes the tapes. I don't know where the tapes are, but I have them. And this is good organ sound, using a lot of tracks back in the day. This here is my second keyboard, my Roland Juno 106. See? 106. I bought these kind of within weeks of each other. This one I paid 250 bucks for. So I got this one and this one for $450, which nowadays, if you know anything about vintage keyboards, it's a freaking steal. This is all the new Roland Aria stuff now, which is cool. This is the mixer, this is the drum machine, this is the 303 emulator. Really cool stuff. I've actually been using these a lot lately. You know, you get kind of bored doing stuff in the box, so you start fiddling around, you come up with really cool stuff. This I bought, this is another Roland, this is Alpha Juno 1, which is the predecessor of the Juno 2. This is the one I use for, I don't know if you know a track I did called I Go Back with Robert Owens. The bass line came out of this, I believe it was 56, P48, and 48, I don't know. One of the bass sounds on here was really cool. This was the workhorse. This is my Akai S3000 with a bad screen. You can barely see it, but you see it enough. This was everything. I had a stack of 3 of these because, believe it or not, at one point, everything I did came out of these Akais. And out of one of them, the polyphony couldn't handle it, so it would choke. The stuff would go off beat. So I had to get 2, and then I'm like, I need more, and I had 3. So at one point, I had a stack of these. And this is a piece by Studio Electronics. This is a full analog. I think this has 2 oscillators or 3. I think it's a dual oscillator thing with noise. And really cool, unique sounds come out of this stuff. You hear a lot of this in Daft Punk's Discovery album and stuff like that. So as a coincidence, I bought this and I'm like, wait, I know that sound. And it was on that thing. But really cool bass sounds, cool lead sounds, just weird analog, fragmented, random, distorted, dope, squelchy. This has an ARP 2600 filter card in it. I believe it has the Moog filter card in it, the 303 and the, I believe, Oberheim, I think, I'm not sure. This is basically Studio Electronics emulated the Mini Moog, 3 oscillators. It works very similar to it. The bass that comes out of this it rattles. So I use this a lot for bass, and I still turn it on and still grab sounds here and there, create melodies, this and that. This is really cool. I use it a lot for lead sounds too, because you just go nuts. You hit record on your DAW and just go nuts. And the stuff you create on this, you can only do it with this. This I don't use anymore, but this has a Rhodes sound. It's called Psycho Rhodes, which Kenny and Louie, Masters at Work, used a lot. What is it, 46? I don't remember. But it's a really cool, really cool Rhodes sound. And strings and some drums and this and that. I use it for everything, really, pianos. Not so much now. I barely use this now. Just keep it there. Nostalgic reasons. This, the Moffatt Emulator, the Emu made this thing called Moffatt. They did a bunch from Planet Fat, Carnival. The ugliest covers you'll ever see, the ugliest front you'll ever see. But it was quick access to really cool snare sounds and hi-hats and conga drums and bongos and this and that. So this was the go-to for that. I still go to it. It has really quirky things. It's like somebody spent a week just sampling random stuff and threw it in this box, and I appreciate that. Motif Rack ES, at one point that was my module, my go-to module. I don't even use it, I'm not gonna lie. And this is my my DJ mixer my DJ mixer so I can sample off of vinyl. Simple, I like the fact that it only takes up one rack space. Very important, space saver. And here is the link between the vocalist and my DAW. This is, my mic runs through this. Analog sounds butter. And it's a standard. There's a reason why a lot of people use it. Somebody went crazy and put bass and turned off the highs, but who knows who that was. Genelec 1031s, these are the bomb. I've been using them for quite a while. They're true, they sound really good. And this paired up with the Yamahas, I mean, if you can't mix on those two, you better find something to do. Go get a job at a deli or something. Nothing wrong with that. This was my go-to mixer. I used to actually mix on this thing. I used to mix individually. If you look over there, you double click, the channel pops up, you can EQ everything, different channels. And at one point I had this 48 outputs. The way I had the card set up, so I would mix everything individually. It was cool, and it has full automation, total recall. It was awesome. Now I just use it to monitor through. I think it would be too much downtime for me to change things right now. I have toyed with the idea, but right now everything works. I'm getting a great sound out of my studio. Why mess with it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is a new Roland, the boutique stuff they're doing. This is the TB303. This thing sounds ridiculous. It's awesome, I love it.
How much is it like the original one?
It's very similar. It's very similar. I've never done an AB, but the times I did mess with the original 303, this sounds a lot like it, to be honest. I would love to see a proper head-to-head. I'm sure it's online somewhere. And
what's with the butcher shop? How'd you name this room?
Because early in my career, I was known for doing a lot of cutting of samples and creating new stuff. So they started calling me the butcher, the beat butcher. And just chop up, I'll take like a jazz loop, chop it up, throw it in samplers and create just something completely off the wall, different. And I don't know, it's just kind of what my friends would call it, the butcher shop, because I was the butcher. But yeah, so the name stuck. And I like it too. It sounds kind of hip-hop-ish, but whatever. It still works. And that's basic. And iMac, this thing is jigged out. Yeah, you can see about this Mac. No, don't look at my serial number.
I can't see it.
Oh, look at that. Memory, 32 gigs of RAM, storage. I mean, yeah, I got the hard drives in this bay here. And everything's backed up. Everything's set up properly. At 3 a.m. every morning, everything runs and backs itself up. So in case there's ever an issue with the hard drives, I always have backups. And yeah, I never thought I'd be working on an iMac, but when I saw the specs and I saw how these things run, knock on wood, I've never had an issue. So yeah, that's it. I wish I could show you more. Should have been here 15 years ago. There was 3 racks, all kinds of stuff. But we whittled it down. The computers now are so powerful that this stuff is just, you know, sometimes you turn it on, you look at it, but generally speaking, it's all in the box.
There it is.
So thanks for stopping by. Buy the course and finish this track with me.